Okay, so I'm going to be going over some flex tools real quick. So this kit is the flex impact driver with the 6 amp hour lithium stacked battery. In the kit, you will get the driver attachment. You can replace this with a metal attachment as well. Battery is quite large, so this is a Milwaukee 5 amp hour XC battery right next to the flex stacked lithium. It's quite a bit larger, and it is quite a bit heavier as well. So if you're concerned about wrist fatigue while you're using your impact driver, I recommend also having on hand a 2.5 hour lithium battery. This came with the oscillating multi-tool from Flex. The charger that came with this is much slower than the one that came with the stacked battery. So this is the rapid 280 watt rapid charger that comes with the stacked lithium battery. It's a little bit larger than the Flex standard battery charger, but the rapid charger is so much better. It's astronomically better. So this is another attachment that you can put on there to hold your bits. So you just undo the screw on the side as usual, and then you can put your bits right in there. Flex impact comes with a T25 and a Phillips T2 bit, PH2. So standard bits on both sides. I love using star bits, 3" to 1/4 to 1. Shut that back. Put this back. So now we will get into the nitty-gritty of the impact driver. So the battery comparisons are quite dramatic. So if you're going for something that you're going to use very quickly, you don't need a ton of power, this battery is still great. It still runs it great. It's very small, very compact. This, on the other hand, is about 3 to 4 times heavier, maybe even heavier than that. It is quite substantial. Like, it just naturally, like, it weighs so much. The balance point is, like, it's ridiculous. But what I have found, depending on what you're driving, this will only last a few hours. If you're driving a lot of 3" screws or so forth into 2x4s, 4x4s, anything like that, this might last a couple hours. A Milwaukee 5 amp hour is my standard for my Milwaukee impact driver, and it lasts a long time. But the size comparison, so this is much lighter. The trigger pull is pretty good. The quick detachment is pretty decent for the most part. The light on the Flex impact driver is underneath, so it's below. So there's some pros and cons to that. You do not have that great a top light. If you have gloves on, it can oftentimes block the light pretty heavily, and you cannot see what you're doing. Oftentimes in theater, I do have to do stuff in the dark or underneath things, and that covers up the light. And so having a really good light has a major impact into me being able to see, or having to have a work light or a flashlight on hand as well. The grip is pretty good. It feels good and snug. This kit comes with this battery, not this battery. So if you want to get the stacked lithium battery that's supposed to last longer recharges, things of that forth, it's going to come with this bigger one. Would I recommend this for an impact driver? Probably not. If you are driving a ton of screws, need a ton of torque, something really fast, this will get the job done. It is going to be heavy. It is going to have more fatigue than this one. But if you are driving 3" all day, you want this over this. This has more torque. This is faster, better battery. and it charges extremely fast. So with the rapid charger, either one of these batteries, you're charging up almost 100% in 30 minutes. It's really nice. The other charger that comes with the oscillating multi-tool and the other tools, the generic charger, not the rapid charger, is extremely slow. It's not that great. Another thing I've noticed with Flex, especially their newer stuff, it smells very plasticky for a very, very long time. It has kind of a weird smell. Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, a lot of those don't have, it's a weird, distinct smell. And if you open up the box, you will be able to smell it, and especially when it's charging, you will be able to smell this weird kind of chemically plasticky smell. On the Flex, you're gonna have the various settings. Let me pop this up right there. So you're gonna have the automatic stop for self-tapping screws. I also use this for thinner wood sometimes if I'm putting glue on flats and so forth. The 3 speeds. I should use this hand so I don't cover it up. So one of my favorite features of any impact is how on the Makita right here, you can switch the settings. I love that. That way you don't have to come down here and you can just click. On here though, this releases it. So I've messed up a few times by drilling and then hitting this and to switch rather than coming down here. It's not a big deal. It's just something to get used to. Familiarity, whatever that word is. Then the actual length of it is pretty short. It's not super long. It is very durable. It has much more rubber than the Milwaukee, as you can see, or the Makita. If you are thinking about buying a Flex, I think it's a very good impact driver. I think the torque is great. I've had no problems really with it. The trigger response, I will tell you, is not the best. That's not great. It doesn't even pull every time. Milwaukee, much better. And the Makita 40 volt is the best. Like, the trigger is so soft and it's really easy to pull. That's my favorite impact driver out of all of them. It's not the most powerful, but it will run all day driving hundreds and hundreds of screws, no problem. Doesn't get overheated. The battery recharges really fast. The illumination on it is great. Flex and Milwaukee are my seconds. This one has the most torque out of any of them by far. The stacked lithium is a very good battery. The bit release is not the best in my opinion. Even when you press this button, it doesn't fall out right away. You still have to pull it most of the time. See? So what's the point of the button? I don't know. The lock and reverse and forward and reverse, pretty smooth, solid click, so you know what you're in. I think the big thing with the Flex, if you're getting this kit and only this kit, you're probably going to want to invest in a smaller battery as well. If you have other Flex tools, then you can use the 2.5 amp hour on that, and you can take this 6 amp hour lithium battery, put it on a circ saw or an oscillating multi-tool, something like that. I found this does really well balancing the oscillating multi-tool and the vibrations, even though the Flex multi-tool is my favorite multi-tool. It has like very minimal vibration and it runs great. I've used this battery on it. It lasts for maybe an hour or so if you're doing like heavy cutting. I would say it's a very good kit. It's very expensive though. I think it's probably around $500. So for a little bit more money, you can get a kit with a lot more tools and more accessories. What you're really paying for in this kit, this is about a $250 impact driver or so. The battery is probably the most expensive part of this kit. So you have $250, maybe another $250 or more for this. So if you're wanting to get this battery and you don't already have this impact driver and you don't have the rapid charger, this is going to be the most economical way to go, unless you want to spend more money and get the huge kit with lithium. I do think the lithium batteries last a lot longer than this one does, for sure, but this is also a 2.5 standard cell battery, and this is a 6 amp hour lithium battery. So if this was a cell battery and this was a cell battery, or this was stacked and this was stacked, I don't know. I will tell you the power stack from DeWalt, this little battery, it is astronomically smaller. But this is a 1.7 amp hour lithium battery, 44 watts, I believe. Oh, 30.6 watt hours. This is 144 watt hours with 6 amp hours, 24 volt. This is 20 volt. This little guy has lasted me all day using this to remove screws. All day. Hundreds of screws. Horrible drill. Great battery. So, I do not like that drill. It does not have anti-kickback features. It's horrible. But what I'm trying to make a point here is that this battery, I've ran it for like driving in wood for maybe a couple hundred screws, and the battery was almost dead. This one, I removed screws for probably 8 hours, and it didn't die. So, I don't know if the technology is a little bit different, or if this impact driver really takes that much more power than the drill from DeWalt. Because the batteries are two totally different things. The only thing that's similar is the stacked lithium. So, I don't know. If you're already into DeWalt a lot, I don't like DeWalt tools though. So, I would suggest getting the Flex stacked if you really want to go stacked and start doing that. I heard Milwaukee's supposed to be releasing stacked batteries soon too, so that might be something to look forward to. But I think the Flex combo kit is a good kit, and get it if you're interested. So